Hey everybody, I was going on a walk today and I came upon this really cool structure at the park that's made for kids. Maybe I'll take a picture of it from the outside so you can see what I'm talking about. And I climbed up the stairs and I came up and I found this really cool place. I want to show it to you. And there's like a view of this beautiful park. And as I was sitting here relaxing and just taking in, the beauty around me, the nature, the kids playing, I started to think, what a great place to come and like to listen to myself and to attune to myself, all these things I love to do. And I started thinking about, a big part about how my relationship with food evolved had a lot to do with eating. So, hi. Eve here, and I'm doing a non-traditional video. I'm just speaking from the heart. I feel like I always speak from the heart, quite frankly. But today I don't really know where I'm going with what I want to share, but what I did want to share is, how learning how to, give up diets. Ultimately that's where we want to be, is giving up diets, really attuning to ourselves, being authentic with ourselves. And a big thing that's involved is learning how to listen, learning how to listen to the signs of our body, what hunger feels like, what fullness feels like, what boredom feels like, what sadness feels like, what happiness feels like. We're so accustomed that when we feel something in our bodies, we want to make it go away, make it stop, because many of us have experienced a lot of hard things, and it's been hard to be in our bodies for a variety of different reasons. It wasn't, for many of us, there may have been like a big trauma that happened in our lives, and for some of us, maybe there was no, big trauma, but a series of little things that have led us to have a challenging time of being present in our bodies when there's something going on, when there's feelings going on. And so because of that, many of us become disembodied, or we leave our bodies when things get hard or when there's something to feel. And that makes it really difficult to attune to things like our hunger. And so it's interesting because a lot of people, embark on this journey of giving up dieting and, tuning into their hunger and fullness and tuning into their bodies. And this idea of learning how to listen to themselves, I think for many is where the big challenge is. They may say something like, oh, it's so indulgent, or that takes too much time. There's resistance that many people feel in, allowing themselves to attune themselves to themselves. I hope that made sense. I hope that came out okay. And sometimes the real work is giving ourselves permission to be with ourselves. Yeah, take that in. Sometimes the real work isn't necessarily hard at all, and it may not go against our nature at all. In fact, the real work is finally giving ourselves permission to do what feels right, and I guess today's a great example of that for me, because, usually I like to think about what I'm going to share with you, and, I like to feel all perfect about the environment. Right now, I don't know if you could hear it. There are kids screaming in the background. But I was just, it just felt right to share this video with you from this very cool place. In fact, I want to show you a little bit about my background. But, as I'm sharing this, it makes me, isn't that just beautiful? It makes me want to, ask you, where in your life are you not letting yourself do what feels natural? Again, we're so used to thinking that work, we went to school, we sat behind chairs. When we were little kids, we were trained that to do good, we have to go against what feels right in our bodies, and so we're not there anymore. We're not kids. We're not sitting in hard wooden chairs, listening to a teacher talk to us all day. Apparently, I've been traumatized by school. But really, in all actuality, now we're adults. Now we get to pick, our own lessons. We get to pick what we want to learn from this life. And so I want to invite you today to give yourself permission to slow down, to tune into your body, what is the truth of what it has to say, How is it feeling about the food that you're feeding it? How does it feel about the job you go to every day, or the relationships that you're in? You know, our body is a wonderful guide. It's smarter than we are. You know, it really knows our truth, and it holds our truth if we have the courage to listen to it. And that's also something that I want to share with you. It does take courage to listen to your body, because sometimes you might not like what it has to say, or you might not know what to do with what it has to say. And I feel that's another reason why people are afraid to really drop into their bodies, is because they're afraid that they might not, you know, be over the moon with their job, or they may not be, you know, there might be issues between them and their spouse, or there might be, you know, things going on in their lives that they just don't know how to handle quite yet. However, you don't need to know. You don't have to suddenly go out and change everything once you find out your truth. Once you find out your truth, it's amazing how the next step reveals itself. So again, I just invite you to really allow yourself to get present to your truth, to get present to what your body is trying to tell you. And, you know, that does take courage. So I'm really proud of you, and I acknowledge you for watching this video, listening to my messages, and following along and taking these steps. And if you're wondering, how do you listen to your truth, I don't blame you. look where you know, trying to tune into myself got me. It got me into this playground at this park. And so some ways that you can, you know, connect with yourself is just, silencing all the other voices around you, either literally or metaphorically. I mean, you don't have to go for a walk at the park alone to attune to this. It just means giving yourself permission to let go and to drop the voices of our friends, of our family, of society, of everything around us, and allow yourself to come into yourself. So you could do this by deep breathing, listening to soothing music, you know, being out in nature, and just tune in to what's present for you. When you start trying to do this, you might notice a lot of critical self-talk come up, or a lot of voices come up, you know, and that's okay. That could be part of it for some people. And I just want you to breathe past that and remind yourself that you're loved, that you're being loving to yourself, that you're not going to be mean, and that you're just trying to meet yourself, that you're just trying to attune to yourself, that you're here to learn. And in doing so, I'm very interested to hear what you find if and when you do this exercise, because you might find that you already do this naturally. Again, naturally, we're meant to attune to ourselves. That's why we're given feelings. They're there to tell us things and what's going on in our lives. So if you do this naturally, or if you use this, you know, this message to take some time to tune into yourself, please write down on the comments below, you know, what your experience was like, what you attuned to when you listened to your body, what was it trying to tell you. And thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being here with me. And if you like this video, I invite you to subscribe. And if you want more information about me, there's a link to my website below. And finally, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day. Happy eating, everyone. Bye.